Welcome back, 3D students. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the nighttime environmental lighting for our graveyard scene. So I just have a few objects in here. This is where we left off when we imported our objects into the scene. Using Datasmith, we had created a new level and we had put them in here like this. And this is the default. If you go here, this is this default basic level here. So the first thing I want to do is put the sun behind the objects here. Now to do that, you hold down Control and L, and that brings up this little compass thing, and then you can put the sun down in the sky and move it around on the horizon. And you can see there it is. And I'm going to let go of Control L when I get it where I want it, and it's right there. And then we're going to select the directional light, which is what creates this, and we're going to change the color of it to blue. And you can see we already get a nice effect right there just doing that. Now before we go any further, let's go ahead and delete this floor box here. And let's create a landscape by going to landscape mode. And we're going to put the grass material on our landscape. You just type in grass, and it should be in the starter content folder, and then just click create. If your objects are below the ground here, return to select mode, select the objects, and just move them up so they're sitting on the ground. Okay, the next thing we need to do is add something to control the exposure and a couple of other effects in the scene. This thing is called the post-processing volume, and you go to the Place Actors button here, find Visual Effects, and select Post-Processing Volume, and it's just a box. Now, unless we change something, the only time the effects will be apparent is when we're inside this box. But we can fix that to affect the whole scene. Let's go to the search bar of the post-process details and type in infinite. And we need to check infinite extents, and that will have it affect the whole scene. Let's cancel that search, and then we're going to find exposure, and we're going to check that box and check that box. Let's change the exposure type to manual, and then we're going to have to make this more so we can actually see what's going on. Now we're starting to look like nighttime. Another thing we can do here is we can go back up to the directional light, and we can change this setting source angle here, and that makes the sun, or the moon in this case, bigger. And then we can change the soft angle here as well. That affects it as well. Now to further affect it, we can go back to the post-processing volume and check bloom. Let's check the method and the intensity. And then let's play with that intensity, and you can see what effect that has on the moon. And we can go back again to the skylight, or to the directional light, and make that source angle bigger. And you can see clearly that that makes the moon bigger. If we want to make it bloom, then we go back here and drag up the bloom a little bit. To make the night more foggy, we're going to go to the exponential height fog, and we can scroll down and find volumetric fog. We're going to click that, and then we're going to increase the extinction scale, and you can see that clearly we're getting foggier. Now we could, it stops at 10, but we could make it 50 if we wanted to, and you can see what that does. I don't think I want it that high, maybe 30. See what happens if we go back. Well, it just depends on what look you're after. I don't want to completely obscure the clouds, though. Now, in some cases, you might need some lighting in the front. So to do that, let's go to the Place Actors panel, and we're going to go to Lights, and we're going to get a point light. I'm going to put that out here in front, put it up in the air. Now, no light's going to go outside this circle here that's around the light. So to make that light go further, that is the attenuation radius here. We just drag that out and you can see what that does. Now we can change the color of this light. And we can change its brightness if we need to. And that gives us a little front lighting so we can see the detail in the front a little better. And that is how you light a nighttime spooky Halloween scene. So the settings you need to play with are the exponential height fog, extinction scale, and the post-process volume, blooming, and exposure. And you can also play with the point light intensity to get the look you want. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and in the next video I'll show you how to put together the candles and the flickering lights for the candles. And I'll see you then.